Maybe. Oh, yep.
Hello and welcome to today we are going to be doing the Vanderbilt University Medical Center Nurse Residency Information Session. My name is Cicely Podgigadakt. I'm the Associate Director here of Career Services, working primarily with our public and healthcare cohorts across Sacred Heart University. Today we have Dr. Goncalves on today's Zoom, as well as Tracy Fargo. Tracy is our contact here who's going to be talking a little bit about the residency program. Tracy comes to us from Vanderbilt University Medical Center. She is the team lead as it relates to the nurse residency program. So with that said, Tracy, I will turn it over to you. And if you have any technical issues, I will be on the line to help answer anything and get that going for you. So Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me today. This is exciting. We actually have hired several from your university, and so we're always excited to talk to you guys, and we just appreciate your time because we know that you've got some tests ahead, I hear, and you're going to do fantastic because you are very well prepared. Well, I'm going to go ahead and start by sharing my screen, and we'll just kick it off there. So bear with me just for a second. Can you see? Awesome, thank you.
Yeah.
So again, my name is Tracy Fargo, and I work with the front end piece of the recruitment, the interview process, the hiring process, on up through the onboarding for our nurse residency program. We have a village of people that work as a relay race. That's how I call it. There's such a team of people that have different parts and pieces. And anyway, we're so excited that you're joining us today, and let me know if you have any questions because that's what I'm here for. So welcome to Nashville, Music City. We are called the IT City by our nurse residents, and anybody moving into the area, they love to explore the city with all of the music that it holds. It has a lot of talent here. You'll see music. Of course, you hear about the music, the country music, but there's also the symphony, the Christian music. It's just a wide range of recording services here. So it's just amazing, and a lot of history here. We have a lot of areas to visit here. In addition to the music, we have sports teams, Go Titans, and we have the ballet, the symphony, just a lot going on here. Our original is called the Ryman Auditorium, is the Mother Church of Country Music is what they call it. And there's so many areas to tour here, do the touristy thing, but it is a lot of history and a lot of great things to visit. A little history about our program. We actually started our first formal activity within the Children's Hospital, and that was back in 2002. And it was such a popular thing to bring new grads in via our nurse residency program that we started seeing a lot of our other units that wanted to partake. And so in 2007, we did a pilot with a different variety of our tracks. And then in 2008, we actually implemented the full-fledged program of our nurse residency program. And each cohort, something is tweaked, something is changed. We listen to our nurse residents. We have shared governance here, so we listen and we learn from what they liked, and try to tweak things. In 2019, we became accredited for our transition practice program, and so that is something that's been in place, and we're excited about that. One of our biggest changes occurred this year, January of 2021. We totally revamped our interview process. So when you apply to the program, you do the initial application. We tried to streamline it. We've eliminated our GPA process, so that way it's very streamlined. Once you apply, we have you list your areas of interest. We give you 4 options for that, and then we give you a link that provides a video process. You can do your own video recording for your interview from our 5 questions that we give. You're able to see the 5 questions, you're able to practice on your own, and you can record each question by itself. And then if you didn't feel comfortable with that, you can re-record it and then submit it. And then we have what we call hiring department conversations. That's where we send your information to the managers, and then they set up Zoom calls with you to, again, streamline that process. And that's where you learn more about their individual units and can ask them one-on-one questions. These are some of our nurse residents. If you check out our website, they give their story. They give their journey, where they began, where they are now. So it's very interesting. We see a lot of nurse residents. Everybody loves our nurse residents, so it's a great program. Our program is 1 year with a centralized onboarding process. We do ask for a 2nd-year commitment. We do have a transfer policy. So let's say if you hire into the nurse residency program, you are eligible to apply to transfer after the 1st year. Our skill development and preceptor support is very transparent, along with our leadership support. We even offer peer support via our nurse residency page that occurs prior to the start date. So that way you can learn your peers, you can ask similar questions. You do have a lot of questions, so very similar questions. I know that via our Facebook, it's just for that cohort. We have a lot that will reach out and try to find roommates and, just try to figure out who's starting in their same track with them. So it's kind of interesting. We also offer quarterly professional development workshops, and they last about 3 to 4 hours each. You'll see focus on evidence-based practice, diversity, delegation, just a series of things. And we are accredited with distinction as a practice transition program, and we're magnet facility. So we're excited about all of those things. Our program itself, when you start, the first couple of weeks is going to be full of education. A lot of educational components. Then after week 2, you'll start seeing your unit more, and that will be with your preceptor. And so that way you'll have your preceptor schedule, and that can range from 6 weeks up to 12 weeks, up to 14 weeks, depending on the unit that you're hired for. These are the areas that hire our nurse residents. The Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt, our behavioral health, our Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, which is in Lebanon, and then, of course, the adult hospital on our main campus, along with our Vanderbilt Medical Group, which is our clinics. Our Vanderbilt Ambulatory Care joined us in 2020 with the residency program, so it's one of our newest tracks. After orientation to Vanderbilt, you'll experience a focused orientation in your specific clinic, along with the subspecialty clinics, and then you'll work with a team of clinic-based preceptors. For the Children's Hospital, we're one of the nation's leading in children's hospitals. We're level 4 NICUs. We're licensed for 267 beds, and they've just added on 4 more floors. We go up because we have more realty up that in that direction. Very, very busy place. They also have what we call CHALK, the Children's Hospital outpatient, and so it's all part of the facility there. Very child friendly. For the University Medical Center, we are licensed over 1,000 beds, very busy place, level 1 trauma center. We're in our 3rd, we've completed our 3rd magnet designation. We're a regional burn center, very big place, very busy place. A lot of opportunities. And again, our Wilson County Hospital, we're adding on rural community hospitals. And so this is one of our newest. And again, it is in Lebanon, Tennessee. They hire for med-surg, progressive care, observation, ICU, ED, and rehab. And then our behavioral health, which sits directly across from our children's hospital, all on the same campus, main campus. They hire under the behavioral health umbrella. And when you start, you could hire into child and adolescent, the adult, addictions programs, just a variety of settings. And we have nurse residents that begin there, and wherever you begin, you're going to gain that information and experience and progress. So save the date. We know that you're graduating in May, so we're going to be posting our program January the 12th through February the 8th. We do open it up 1 week early for our current employees to apply. But our start dates, we have July the 18th for all of our adult acute care tracks, and then all of our other tracks are going to start July the 25th. It will be here before you know it. I'm not believing this is December. So our website, when you check out the nurse residency page, you're going to see all of our track opportunities, and they're displayed like this. At the very top is our adult hospital. The little squares show you the different divisions. So if you can click on one of the squares, you will see the adult acute medicine. You can click on that, and it takes you to all the different units in that track. And it takes you to the manager's page, and they will share information about their patient to nurse ratio, any additional information they want to talk about, and their specifics in the patient population and so forth. And on down the page, you can see the children's hospital is divided into two categories, the acute care and critical care. And each one of the tracks under those will be listed and shared with the different managers also. And then again, there's the psychiatric behavioral health, the VMG, which is our ambulatory clinics, and then our regional hospitals. So you can go to vanderbiltnursing.com or vumc.org, and it links over to this. And we keep a banner running. Right now, we still have our winter cohort posted for our acute care areas. And so if you wanted to just check it out before the summer is posted, this is what it looks like, the banner right there. You can click on that. You can see what the posting looks like and just see how it's laid out. This is our steps. So once you apply, I'll email you this little flyer, but basically you submit the application. The link is sent to you for you to do the video recorded interview. You can do it at midnight, whenever it's convenient for you. And then we do the application review. And then after the deadline, then we start sending to the hiring departments for your hiring department conversations. And then, communication is something that we feel like we're really good with. We try to communicate all along the spectrum so that you know where we are in that, what's going on. And I am your contact. So if you have any questions, just feel free to reach out to me. We've noticed some best practices. We know that you're students, so an extensive resume is not a requirement. We know that you have been very focused on school, but what we do look for in a resume is for you to have your contact information, your email, your phone number, your name, list your university and your projected graduation date so that we can see that. And then another best practice we've noticed is where you apply and practice the interview questions that we provide, and then also record that interview and then watch your interview and just make sure you feel comfortable with it. So that's another best practice. And then one more best practice is keep an open mind, because wherever you start in your nursing career, you're only going to gain experience. And so if you've ever talked to a nurse out there that's been practicing in the field for 10, 15 years, usually where they are now is a different place than where they started. So just keep an open mind and just know that you're building that career path, and we will help you. Let's say if you wanted to work in a specific area and maybe you ended up starting in a different area, the leadership here are very good about supporting you and in helping you follow that career path. So just heads up on that. This is in our hospital, the main campus. It is one of the murals. It's pretty cool. It's got Dolly and Reba and all the folks there. I've got a short little video I want to share with you, and then we'll open it up for questions. And it's about 2 minutes.
I hold charts I hold medications.
I hold hands.
I understand that sometimes
the most important medicine
is listening.
Just listening.
I see people being brought into the world.
And I see people leave it.
I know that sometimes the only thing more important than laughing with patients
Is crying with them.
I understand that when you're taking care of one person,
you're actually taking care of the entire family.
I know what it's like
To not just be a nurse,
but to be a soldier on the front lines of a pandemic.
I know that heroes don't just exist in comic books.
Heroes don't just exist in comic books. I'm a nurse.
I'm a nurse.
I am a nurse.
I am a nurse at Vanderbilt University Medical Center.
There are jobs,
And then there are callings.
All right. So what kind of questions do you guys have?
Hi, my name is Grace. It's nice to meet you.
Hi, Grace.
You pretty much answered all of my questions. The only one I did have was, is the July dates the only start dates you have, or are there some a little bit further into 2022?
Sure. We have fall start dates. We have October start dates.
Okay. And so
Mhm.
what would the application time look like for those?
For the fall, let's see. We will post that program May the 4th.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much.
Well, you're welcome.
That just had me thinking about one question. So if they were hired into the July cohort, I know we had spoken a little bit earlier with regards to their licensure, et cetera. Are they brought in, just so I understand, are they brought in as, for instance, like a nurse tech, et cetera, until they have passed that, or how is that process handled?
Okay.
Because they'll be relocating.
Very good question. We do require that you have passed NCLEX prior to starting the program. We do a check-in 1 week prior to the program. We need to know the outcome to that. And if we see if that is a delayed ATT or process, then we defer to the next start date.
And so that would then push them to October?
Currently, unless we add some more dates in between that.
Okay. What about, could you talk a little bit about some of the relocation process? Since many students are not from the greater Tennessee area, does your organization help with that process, or are they on their own? Are there, I don't know if there's any type of sign-on bonus or temporary housing that you would provide as part of their offer?
Okay, so our nurse residents are our best peers here. They reach out, they support each other. We have some that, try to find roommates, share expenses like that. Currently, we have relocation assistance and sign-on bonuses. That's different each cohort. So I hesitate in mentioning, what that is currently. As it comes about, we publicize that. As far as housing, we don't assist with the housing per se, but our nurse residents really do, try to help each other as far as that piece goes. There'll be ones that are here local and try to guide as far as areas, that sort of thing. And then I have a list of websites that I share all along the venue for that.
Okay, great. Could you talk a little bit about the program in ballpark, how many nurse residents that you bring into each of those cohort classes, whether winter, fall, or summer?
Okay, our smallest cohort, we've hired 48. Our largest is 275. So, it just varies. It totally depends on our managers, on how many they would like to hire per unit. And then they elevate that up to their leadership, and then it's compiled so that we know how many we're bringing on board per area. And so that is calculated each cohort. We won't know that until, after we post on the exact numbers.
Okay. Are there other questions from the audience? One of the other questions that had come up, I know you had indicated as part of their application process, they should list 4 areas of interest. Given the current pandemic environment, are there certain areas that you see, for instance, ICU, typically an easier transition for students to identify into the program? Med surg has always been pretty traditional. Or if some of the students are interested in NICU, I know you had indicated on some of the slides, NICU or trauma, ER, etc. Could they put those specialties, or does that maybe hinder their application?
So we will look at our first track, what you list for your first track first, and then we look at how many's applied to that versus how many the manager's wanting to conduct hiring department conversations. So it really depends on, how many apply versus how many conversations we're wanting to have. We do so that we have a very streamlined and fair process. We do a randomization so that we're very fair in our process. And so it's totally determined by that process. We do look at the first track first, and then we look at the second track. The third and fourth tracks, when you apply, will be strictly only our adult acute care options, because we have such a multitude of areas within that. And when I say that, like for example, medicine, adult acute medicine has 7 units versus, if you're looking at medical ICU, that's 1 unit. And we might have 5 positions there, and we might get 100 applicants for that. So, I mean, it just really depends on the area.
Would you want to see then on their applications information with regards to their clinical rotations spelled out again for some of those specialty units? Or are you looking more, I know you mentioned not really looking to the GPAs for this cohort hiring, but are there other specifics you would like them to elaborate on, hands-on experience, etc.?
If there is any specific experience, feel free to add that to your resume. When we send the information to the units, the unit managers will be able to have access to that information.
And what about the electronic medical record system that you're currently using down there?
We use eStar.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What about timeline? So once they start to apply, I know you mentioned it will be opening up while they're out on break in January through February timeframe. When could they expect a follow-up? I know there'll be a link. What's the timeline?
So after the deadline, we will, let's see, we said, probably closer to the end of February. By the time we, compile everything and then start sending out to the hiring department conversations, and then usually the managers are the ones that reach out to schedule those individual units. So closer to the end of February for that piece, but we will be communicating all along so that they will know where we are in that process. And if in doubt, reach out.
If they are not considered for timing, hypothetically, let's say for the summer, maybe the positions are filled, there's not a strong match at that point, but maybe an opening happens in October. You had indicated they're eligible to be part of the residency program with a minimum of 6 months experience. So they could potentially reapply in the fall or even in the winter cohort.
So our program targets the new grad or the RN with less than 6 months of RN work experience upon application. So yes, they can reapply.
And will they be partnered up with alumni, if you will, through the program as part of their one-year training process, or are they brought more to any of the new hires outside of the residency program? As
So
peers, et
it's
cetera?
very good question. The leadership determines, the preceptor match. We do preceptor workshops here for our preceptors so that helps prepare them to be a preceptor. We have a lot of nurse residents that will be a part of that, past nurse residents, because, number one, they've been through the program and they know what to expect. And it sort of helps along the way too. Ideally, you'll have one preceptor, realistically, more than one because of PTO time and such. Like I said, everyone loves our nurse residents. They want to absorb everything, learn, and ask questions. And one of our clinical staff leaders, when they were talking, they had said, we always have people. There's always someone to ask a question to. So that's the neat thing about coming on board. There's always a person to ask.
We have several alumni, Tracy, as you said, that are down there, and they come back every homecoming, week in October, and they are just beaming. They absolutely love, obviously, Nashville, but also Vanderbilt. They can't say enough good things. So I would, if I reach out and get their names, I'm sure that they wouldn't mind being ambassadors, and I can share it with any other students up here who want to connect, because it's nice to hear it from somebody, who can put everything into perspective and have been in their shoes. So I can certainly do that.
Thank you so much. That is awesome.
Thank you, Dr. Galvez. Are there additional questions today with regards to the program or the process that Tracy could answer?
And I believe, I was thinking, Cicely, did I send you the flyer?
You did.
Okay,
and,
awesome.
So when we put it together, we had sent it out with that initial flyer that you had sent over. So the information with your contact information is on that.
Very nice.
And then if you want to send me additional resources, either the slide deck, this is all going to be recorded, but if there is a slide deck or additional documentation that would be most helpful to the students, by all means, please feel free to send that over. We will be recorded and it will be uploaded to our career page. So for students who do want to reference back to something either as part of the application process or who have been unable to make today, they will have that access through our website and YouTube pages.
Well, just please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. I am happy to follow up. And we're just excited for you. Congratulations on what's ahead. And just, keep us in mind. Thank you for your time and good luck on your test that's approaching.
Yep. Well, we can't thank you enough, Tracy, because you know what? Sometimes if you can't do an in-person recruitment session, people think it's unattainable. So for you to take the time and do this virtually connects us to you, and we thank you.
Oh, I love this. I love it's I call it my superpowers because I can just zoom in.
That's right. There's no jet lag.
Tracy, I really appreciate your time today and the information that you've shared with our students. For everybody who is attending currently today's Zoom or will be watching this recorded, please know if you need any additional assistance, we are here at the Center for Career and Professional Development, able to assist you with application, resume, cover letter, mock interview practice. By all means, do not hesitate to reach out. You can always schedule an appointment through our handshake tool. I believe, Tracy, you had also indicated you are connected on Handshake. We will continue to keep those windows of application time added on to our Handshake link for all of those students who are unable to attend today, just so that they're aware of the window of application. But I want to thank you so much for your time today, Dr. Goncalves, as well, for your assistance in helping make today a success. And thank you to everybody who has participated. If you need anything, please do not hesitate to reach out. And Tracy, I hope you have a wonderful holiday season.
Happy holidays, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Cicely.
Thank you.